I heard the click of a key in a lock and a joyful whinny before I felt another jar open and scroll reveal itself, but this one was Oxhead. He looked quite a lot like Horseface, only he carried a pike and a shield. Ren and Horseface quickly enlisted Oxhead to help them in finding the last key as Lai pointed to us and shouted, "Stop them!" Lin Yu hesitated a moment as I flourished my blade and took up a defensive stance, but I was surprised when Liu actually dashed up from wherever I'd kicked him to. Right, I forgot how fast he was, I complained. Liu charged me and I blocked and engaged him, but now that I could feel the flow of his emotions and chi clearly, it was like playing cards with someone who was always showing you what they had. I found myself fighting him absent-mindedly as I listened to Lai and Lin Yu. "So, you really have chosen these interlopers over us? Your own flesh and blood?" Lai asked, pointing his crossbow to Lin Yu. "You've spilled more of our blood than they ever could," Lin Yu spat back. But I was surprised when Lai grabbed a whip from his belt and lashed it at his daughter, hitting her right in the mouth. Lin Yu didn't even react beyond scowling at her father. Her lip reddened slightly by the lashing leather. He reared back and lashed her again, but this time she snatched the whip in midair. "You disgust me, but you're still my father. I refuse to harm you. But I won't let you hurt me any more," Lin Yu asserted. Lai didn't seem to know what to say as he yanked on his whip, but after a moment or two Lin Yu released it, making him smack himself right in the face with it. Lai reared back and snapped it at her again, but Lin Yu slashed it in half with a disapproving stroke of her blade. Liu had been going at me strongly, but he was starting to run short of breath, so he flashed me with that item again. My senses left me again, but it was a useless endeavor. All I did about it was chuckle to myself. Liu roared as he charged me, but he was being so aggressive that his feet were exposed as he ran, and he fell for a simple trip. The bulky man flopped onto his chest and skidded through the dirt behind me. He pushed himself to his feet and seemed to think going for Ren and the others was a good idea, but he learned how bad an idea it was when I ran up and kneed him in the stomach before breaking his shoulder and pulling on it with my free hand, and slamming through his upper arm with my elbow. That left him pretty strongly stunned, so I walked up to his battered body, reached into his pocket, and pulled out that black orb before dropping it on the ground and crushing it with my foot. My senses returned to me again as I did so, but Liu grunted through the agony of his broken shoulder. "You bastard! How dare you break my family treasure? My father gave that to me!" But I just told him, "You'll get over it," and left him there as I started heading back toward Ren and the others. Mei was starting to drift east across the landscape, and Lin Yu was reluctantly turning toward us, so I got between her and them. But I was surprised that Liu was already getting up so quickly. Our prayers were answered when I heard the click of a key in a lock behind me. Ren threw off the chain and unleashed the scroll of the final pot, loosing her father onto the battlefield.